Hello, welcome back. We are in our read through of the 1800s King James Pictorial Bible. We are in the book of Deuteronomy. Moses preparing his people to enter the promised land that he is not going to enter with them. He is reminding them of the law that they've already been given, and he is exhorting them to follow it and to hold fast to God, to not chase after other gods, and to do everything that God instructs them. So, just a reminder, if any of this sounds repetitive, it's because he is repeating it, because they need to hear it again. And that means so do we. So, let's dive in. Deuteronomy chapter 18, please grab a Bible and read along with me so you're not just passively listening. Chapter 18. The priests, the Levites, and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part nor inheritance with Israel. They shall eat the offerings of the Lord made by fire, and his inheritance. Therefore shall they have no inheritance among their brethren. The Lord is their inheritance, as he hath said unto them. And this shall be the priest's due from the people, from them that offer sacrifice, whether it be ox or sheep, and they shall give unto the priest the shoulder, and the 2 cheeks, and the maw. The first fruit also of thy corn, and of thy wine, and of thine oil, and the first of the fleece of thy sheep shalt thou give him. For the Lord thy God hath chosen him out of all thy tribes to stand to minister in the name of the Lord, him and his sons forever. And if a Levite come from any of thy gates out of all Israel where he sojourned, and come with all the desire of his mind unto the place which the Lord shall choose, then he shall minister in the name of the Lord his God, as all his brethren the Levites do, which stand before the Lord. They shall have like portions to eat, beside that which cometh of the sale of his patrimony. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God, for these nations which thou shalt possess hearkened unto observers of times, and unto diviners. But as for thee, the Lord thy God hath not suffered thee to do so. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken, according to all that the Lord desirest of the Lord, according to all that thou desirest of the Lord thy God in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, Let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God, neither let me see the great fire any more, that I die not. And the Lord said unto me, They have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. And if thou say in thine heart, How shall we know the word which the Lord hath not spoken? When a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord hath not spoken, but the prophet hath spoken it presumptuously. Thou shalt not be afraid of him. Okay, we're getting a lot in this chapter. It is very serious. God takes false gods and false religions very seriously. He doesn't play around. He says, don't suffer wizards, witches, diviners, false prophesiers to live. Like, do not mess around with people who do enchantments and do magic and do things outside of God's power. Because where they're getting it from is Satan. Period. Like, and we've discussed this before, but all of the false religions that are surrounding the people of Israel, that are currently in the world today, who follow multiple gods or other gods that are not the one true God, they're real things that they're following. They're just demons. They're evil spirits that have power. I mean, I'm not saying that, everyone who's divining or psychic or whatever is making it up. There are definitely people who are. But some of them are convening with evil spirits. And God specifically instructs, do not mess around with those people. Do not consult them. Do not associate with them. Because they are not drawing from me. And there's a call out here that he talks about when you go into the land, do not any among you make your son or daughter pass through fire. That's listed right before it launches into don't use divination, don't observe the times, don't be an enchanter or a witch. And the reason that's specifically called out is it was very common in the surrounding nations of them at the time for people to worship Molech, a demon or a false god, who required child sacrifice, where they would literally burn their children. God takes human life so seriously. It is so sovereign to him. And in fact, you may be like, well, that doesn't seem to gel because he, tells them to stone people all the time. But human life is so sacred to him that there has to be justice and there has to be consequence when human life is threatened. And sometimes we may not perceive how grave the threat is. We're like, all they did was observe another religion and you're taking them out into the street and stoning them. But that's endangering their immortal souls. So yeah, God takes that very seriously. Yes, you are turning people's hearts away from the one true God and keeping them from relationship with the one true God. And that has eternal consequence. So yeah. Again, God takes his word and his statutes very seriously. He wants his people to follow him and only him. So obviously there were very clear idols and, people following other things and a lot of, at the time, and I'm coming across this in my later readings where Israel is sort of still having a relationship with God, but we also have Asherah poles, and we're also setting up altars to Baal, or however you say it. And they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. And it's like, no, don't do a little bit of this on the side. I worship God, but sometimes I do stuff for this guy over here. And today, maybe you're not, burning incense for, Baal or Molech or anything, but just be careful of what maybe is seeping into your life that is something you shouldn't be around or you shouldn't be messing with. But I encourage, as always, for you to dig deeper yourself in personal study for this chapter. And Lord willing, we will be back again tomorrow to read the next chapter, chapter 19. But in the meantime, I pray that the Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, and give you peace. God bless.